Happy Thursday. It's Heather Vickery. I'm Heather Vickery. You're at Live with Heather Vickery. Yep. And that is in fact exactly the kind of day that it has been. Um, Welcome everybody. Happy Thursday. My name is Heather Vickery and you are here for Live with Heather Vickery. I'm here every Thursday at 12 p.m. Central. And today's topic is such a great one. We're talking about the importance of words, the words that we choose, how they reverberate within our minds, our bodies, our souls, our subconscious, and make a difference. Hey, Chris Davis, how are you, my love? Katie's here. Hi, Katie. Katie, I never know if I'm going to see you on TikTok or Substack, but I'm glad you're here. So we are on TikTok, Substack, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and I'm grateful for everybody being here. Um, I have to fully confess that I have done very minimal work today because I was busy finishing the book Wayward, which has been on my list forever. And my friend Katie just read it recently. And Katie said, push it to the top of your list. And it was so good that I had to finish it this morning. So I appreciate that. For those of you who are new, I am a transformation coach. What does that mean? It means that I help people go from where they are to where they want to be by learning to deeply and completely know, like, and trust themselves, and then rewrite the bullshit stories that everyone else and society has put on them so that they can live a life that they love because you deserve that, because you're worth that. You are worthy of that. And it is, I feel very lucky that I get to do this work. And I actually just posted on Substack, literally right before the live, Wayward was my 100th book that I have read this year. And I love to read. I've always loved to read. I have an English degree. I think it's fantastic. It's not a competition. I'm not wearing that like a prize. I don't deserve a cookie. If you don't read that much, it doesn't matter. If you've read twice as much as that, it doesn't matter. But I think for me, especially right now, reading is a lovely way to disassociate from the shit show that is the world right now. When I'm doing my work, when I am in doing lives with you all, working one-on-one with clients, running my Spark Collective, running my retreats, all of that, when I'm doing my work, everything is fantastic because I love my work. I have the pleasure and privilege of helping people step into their own power, take radical responsibility for themselves, and then change their lives. And when people do that, it shifts and changes what's happening around them, right? When you shed all that isn't for you, what's left is what is for you. And things will crop up that are no longer for you, that you don't want, but you can move through them much quicker. And so I love being able to do the work. I love what's great. It's great to stay busy and do the work, but also I'm a projector in human design. I must rest before I'm successful. I need to honor that rest. I do, even though I have to get up and get the kids to school, I do slow mornings. I do not hustle. And I actually had, and sometimes Stephanie joins us. So Stephanie Graham, if you're going to pop in, or if you see this, I appreciate that. I had this great conversation with my friend Stephanie yesterday. She is coming, she's local to Chicago, and she is coming to the Chicago Empower Breakfast, which if any of you are local to Chicago, please come and join us. We gather on the second Friday of every month. So our next one is September 12th. And it is just an incredible, beautiful community of heart centered, conscious leaders who want to share space and inspiration and community with other people. We have super high vibes, super high, fun, energetic connections. We are committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. You can't make me get rid of those words. There's no way. I would never do it. And we are really proud of everybody who comes. So Stephanie's coming, and I asked her if she wanted to take a 3-minute lightning round presentation to tell people about her work and her business. And she said, "Yes, I need to get in. I need to get in line with that Heather Vickery hustle." And it made me laugh because I was like, is hustle a word that you associate with me and the work that I do?" And she was like, "Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think of hustle as a bad thing, not like a hustle bro mentality," which I knew she didn't mean that because I just knew she didn't mean that, right? So I had a laugh because I was like, hustle is not a word I would ever associate with myself. However, we don't really see ourselves the way other people see us. So, one of the things that I've worked years and years and years to do is put systems in place that allow me to be successful professionally and prioritize my need for rest, for travel, for adventure, for reading, for quiet time, for all of those things. So, I get a lot more, and this is a very projector thing. If you don't know what your human design is and you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my website or follow any of the links in my profile and pull your free human design chart, because that is going to help you. Human design is a masterful way to unlock so much in your life, to know yourself better, to stop apologizing for who you naturally are, and live into yourself with confidence and without any apology. So it's a very projector of me to find ways to work smarter, not harder, so that I can rest before I'm successful, so that I can nurture all of that before I move into any sort of hustle space or working space. So, this conversation with Stephanie was so golden for me because it reminded me, because I said to her, I find it wild because I rest so much more often than I work, that I can get into my not self, into my unaligned self, and think I'm lazy. That's my number one limiting voice. It always has been my whole life. You don't work hard enough, you're lazy. And it took me years and a lot of, getting my certification in human design, becoming a human design coach was really helpful in that, to work with what's mine, right? To find a way to work with who I am naturally instead of pushing against it. I am not lazy, I'm aligned. And conversations like the one I had with Stephanie, where she sees me as somebody who puts it out there, who shows up, who does the work, who makes a difference, who really connects. I was so grateful for that, because it reminded me that all of these systems I've put into place, they work. They work. I am in alignment, because if other people perceive me as somebody who hustles, then I'm putting the work out there, but I don't feel drained. I don't feel exhausted. And that is cool. So I kind of needed that reminder, I think, especially the last few weeks. I've taken it very slow. My daughter's home from college as we wrapped up summer before my girls went back. Like, I really spent a lot of time doing personal stuff. And I do happen to know that in the next couple of weeks, things ramp up very quickly. And then we get into the holidays, and then we have the Costa Rica retreat. Chris Davis is coming with us to Costa Rica. Whoop, whoop. Who else is in the room, in the audience right now, who's coming with us to Costa Rica? Y'all, I am so excited. If you do not already know about my Reclaim Your Peace retreat in Costa Rica in January of 2026, I would love to share all the details. You can find a link in my bio also, but it is 6 days in the Costa Rican jungle with anti-inflammatory food that's plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, and seriously the most delicious food I've ever eaten in my life. Lots of space and time and connection with yourself and your soul and other wonderful heart center community people. We have Indigenous practitioners leading these really spectacular rituals, like a cacao ceremony, blue clay ceremony on the riverbank, which was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. Breath work, all kinds of cool stuff. I'll be doing somatic movement. We'll be doing some neurolinguistic programming, some subconscious programming for those who want to participate. Everything is, you get to pick and choose the different elements that you want to participate, so that it aligns with you and your heart and your soul. Anyway, all of that to say, words matter, which is actually today's topic. I have long wanted to be for things and not against things. This is the law of attraction, right? So there were signs all over my community in 2016, right after um, we elected the really awful person the first time around. And the sign said, hate has no home here. And I love that concept. Except what happens when you do that is, the word that connects with the universe, with the energy, is hate. Well, I don't want to invite hate into my life and into my home. So our signs said, in this house, we know that love is love, that science is real, that no human is illegal. Like, it went on, right? So choose the words you want to have around. And actually, I have that sweatshirt on right now, kind of, right? Equality. I love this sweatshirt. It's way too big for me. You could put 2 of me in it, but it's very comfortable. Um, be for something and not against something. I do gratitude practices a lot. I do it with my daughters. I do it with clients. I have 2 gratitude journals out. Gratitude is game changing. It changed my life. It can change a lot of people's lives. It can change your life if you decide to practice it. Gratitude is scientifically proven to increase overall happiness, joy, and well being while decreasing stress, anxiety, and depression. And I'm not making that up. That's not woo woo. That's not pseudoscience. That's actual science. It's neuroscience. If you did an MRI on somebody's brain before they started a gratitude practice and then they listed 3 to 5 things they're grateful for, hey, Carrie, and why every single day for 3 months, and then they came back and did another MRI, you would be able to see the changes in their brain neurologically. Gratitude is incredible. Gratitude is game changing. Hey, Margaret, how are you, my love? Good to see you. Okay. So I will often close out one on one coaching sessions by asking people to list things that they're grateful for. I don't always do it, but I often do it. And I had a client once, many, many, many years ago, who said she had just traveled. And she said, well, I'm grateful my plane didn't crash. I'm grateful my plants didn't die while I was gone. And the list went on. And I was like, okay, pal, did you hear yourself? I want to reframe what you said, and I want you to tell me if you can feel the difference. So I reframed it as I'm grateful that my plane landed safely. I'm grateful that my plants are alive and healthy. And she was like, oh, yes, right? Be for something rather than against something else. Be grateful for what is good and what isn't working instead of something bad not coming for you. And we live in a world where there are bad things, there just are. And when we take radical responsibility for ourselves, we take a look at what is actually happening around us. And we say, given this information, given this knowledge, what I now know from this, I am going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to behave this certain way. I'm going to choose this. I'm going to try this because that's taking, oh, you can't hear us. Shit. You can hear us on TikTok, right? But Substack can't. Uh, okay. All right, I'm going to end the Substack one. Okay. That is a bummer, but I will just figure out another way to post it. I don't know what happened. Maybe when I was moving Substack things around. Oh, you could probably hear that, couldn't you? Sorry. My little microphone thingy must have gotten disconnected. Anyway, we'll just keep going with the 3 of us. Hello, 3 of us, as in TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I got distracted though. Talking about words matter. Right. Feel the difference. Think about your words carry so much weight and they pattern onto you subconsciously. And it's really important to think about using language that actually comes out of your mouth or even just the thoughts in your mind that expand you rather than shrink you, right? So I want you to embrace like whatever it is you're seeking, seek it bigger, seek it with more wonderful things. Um, don't downplay your dreams, your desires, your words, your choices. Use language that builds and doesn't battle. Use language that gives you expansiveness rather than language that shuts you down. And that isn't just a personal thing, it's a collective thing because the people around you will pick up on that and they will hear that and they will amplify that. I am for peace, I am for harmony, I am for well-being of myself and others. I believe in rest. I choose rest. I honor rest. I believe in joy. Chris is here. She's been here. We talk a lot about having dessert first. I wanted to finish my book this morning before I did anything. I did do like 5 or 6 things work related that needed to get done. And then I gave myself space to read because I choose expansiveness. I choose abundance. I choose time to do things that bring me joy, knowing that it will lead to more alignment. And my affirmation every morning as I go outside and I stand, I put my feet in the ground and it's getting colder. It's really cold now. I think about you. I was thinking about you, Chris, because Chris lives on in a camp. It gets really cold in Maine and it gets really cold in Chicago. And I'm like, am I going to do this in the winter? I haven't done it in the winter before, but am I going to? But I stand there and I breathe it in and I think and I speak out loud, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am the universe and the universe is me. Everything I desire desires me, and the outcomes of just as abundance flows because everything is always working out for me. And I love that connection. I love finding that time. Those words are beautiful and they call in more of what I want. And when I'm aligned, I can rest and relax into that. And I can trust that this is taking me where I want to go, where I need to go, where the universe is guiding me to go, rather than I'm just lazy or you know, oh, bad things always happen to me. So you want to, in order to speak in alignment, which is so powerful, you want to flip the script. If you catch yourself using phrases of things that you don't want or negative things, reframe them into things that you do want. So instead of saying, I don't want to be in this repeat pattern of struggling to get clients. Instead, say, I like the word desire over want because I think we can always want and never achieve what we want, but desire is expansive, but that's just me. I desire having my books, having all of the perfect clients lined up on my books and plenty of time for rest and expansion and having more than enough to pay the bills and travel and have the life of my dreams, right? Like find a way to make it work in something that brings light and joy and excitement. And don't minimize your desires. Oh, it's just a little thing that I want. Own it. This is something that's important to me. I want this. I choose this. I'm picking this. I desire this. And really think about, pay attention to how words land in your body. How do they feel when your subconscious hears what you're saying and it patterns? How does it feel? Does it feel constricting? Does it feel expansive? Take the time to know that. That's somatic work, right? And then from that somatic work, we can do subconscious reprogramming. We can do NLP work. We can shift things, but it's really, really important to think about, to take a moment and pause and be aware for how your body reacts to the words that come out of your mouth or even the words that are just in your mind. Take the time to be really aware of how those things feel consciously on your body, inside your body, and lead with what you're for. I'm for taking radical responsibility for yourself. I'm for peace. I'm for harmony. I'm for believing women. I'm for trusting yourself. I'm for travel. I'm for taking adventure. I'm for setting boundaries. I'm for asking for what you want. I'm for, all of those things. Just keep going. What are you for? And if it's something that you're struggling with and you want more of, I actually have a free on my website. If you follow the link in my bio, you'll see it, a dreamscaping mini course. It's 15-minute expansive mini course to help you dream without barriers, which is really cool. Because so often when we imagine, when we plan, when we dream for our future, we limit ourselves. And this mini course is here to help you break off those barriers and be expansive, dreaming beyond your wildest dreams, which is really, really cool. But if you think you are, in fact, ready for some shifts, we can do a one-off subconscious um, shift session, which is awesome. We'll just work on one specific problem, one thing that you want to tackle. We'll do in that. Or I have the Mind Shift Mastery Program, which is several sessions where we combine human design and subconscious reprogramming. You can do that. If you know your human design and you can just tell that you're not feeling as aligned as you would like to feel, you could get the human design subliminal audios. They are amazing. So subliminal audios are great because you just listen to them in the background and they shift you without having to do a lot of extra work, and you don't have to associate with negative thoughts, feelings, or emotions. I love them. And I'm getting great feedback on them. People are telling me that they feel energized, they feel more creative, they feel more calm, like all kinds of really, really cool things. But here is something that I'd like to leave you with in this time together. Here's my invitation to you. I want you to listen to your language this week. Be really thoughtful and intentional and aware. And then flip negative statements, find a way to say them in a more positive way, and then notice physically how that feels in your body, and then keep building from there because you are worthy of that. So thank you so much for being here. If you want to connect with me in other ways, you can do that. I do Tuesdays, office hours, almost every Tuesday. Some Tuesdays I can't do it, but most Tuesdays I do it. Ask Me Anything office hours. They're free. I would love to have you join. I'm here every Thursday for a new topic, a new way to step out of fear and into bravery so that you can live a life that you are in love with. And if you want to have a coffee chat with me or you want to know about working together, just send me a message and I would be happy to chat with you. Thank you all so much for being here. It is a pleasure and a joy to get to spend time with you. Again, my name is Heather Vickery, and I'm reminding you today and every day to choose yourself bravely because you are worth choosing. And I cannot wait to see you win and celebrate all those wins with you. Thanks so much, y'all. Take care. Bye.